just under 2 minutes. And from there, we worked very closely, actually, with Vara to make sure that every step of the way, every single step that we're taking towards innovation is also well regulated and in a framework that is robust and will be able to scale at the long run. Because every single one of you that have invested in these properties are actually early adopters in this amazing technology and part of this pilot program that we have launched successfully. Now, every step after that also takes a lot of resilience, a lot of well thought process to make sure every step, not only for us, but anyone else coming later on in this scene, has a framework that is robust and well regulated. So in between us listing the last property and today, Vara has launched or introduced a new framework dedicated for virtual assets, which is called ARVA, and more specifically, Asset Reference Virtual Asset. And what that means is a token or a virtual asset that is linked to your ownership and that gives you an economic right to the asset that you hold, such as, for example, the rental yield or the capital appreciation, the terms and conditions of the product. So anything that comes along the ownership of that property. And that specific economic right should be represented by a virtual asset, hence the token, and linked with the ownership token that you have and you still currently have on the Dubai Land Department REST application as well as PRYPCO. These two tokens are minted on XRP and are currently available on the platform for you to have access to. So if you log in on the PRYPCO Mint app, on your portfolio and wallet page, you'll be able to see those tokens, and you have a dedicated link to every single one of them that will take you to the ledger and the blockchain and to track these transactions and to track these tokens. This was an extremely important step for us to do and to perform before launching the secondary market, because that from there shapes the future of everything related to tokenization, not specifically real estate, but the entire tokenization space. And we're actually very, very proud to be the first company to have actually launched this and launching this tomorrow under the ARVA framework of Vara. Now, speaking about the marketplace specifically, a lot of you asked us, how can I exit before a full property sale? How can I increase my allocation to a specific property, right? Because you didn't have time to buy when we launched in the primary phase. And how can I kind of trade and transact these tokens at any point in time, right? So what we've built today is a regulated marketplace that is open 24/7, that's enabling you to list a token at any point in time and to buy a token at any point in time. So what we're trying to eliminate here is the middle ground, where we do a lot of administrative work of updating legal documents and going to trustee offices and making these changes that happens offline. We brought them online, we brought them to the blockchain, and every single transaction will be able to be done instantly and with no paperwork, and everything through the PRYPCO Mint application. And finally, and most importantly, this structure is compliant with Vara and is compliant with the latest ARVA regulations, which Vara has released recently. Now, introducing the PRYPCO Mint marketplace. And again, tomorrow is going to be an amazing milestone for every one of us. We're launching the PRYPCO Mint marketplace tomorrow, February 20, 2026 at 10 a.m. Make sure you have it on the PRYPCO Mint application. It's not yet available on the website. So for everyone that only has access to the website, we highly recommend you, please download the application. It's available on App Store. It's available on Google Play. Download the app and you will be able to access it. And for whoever has already the application, thank you for all your support. Make sure to update the application and it will be available for you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Again, as I mentioned, it's operating 24 hours, 7 days a week. And one last point, similar to when you were registered, when you were investing in the property initially, make sure you're registered on Dubai REST application before you buy or sell, because your name will be on the title deed, which means that the land department, the only way for them to recognize your ownership, you need to be registered on the land department's back-end system, and hence registering on the Dubai REST app is a mandatory step. So I request everyone to make sure that this step is already taking place. Now, there are a few things that you need to take into consideration for the marketplace, and Esmar will walk you through that also in the live webinar or in the live walkthrough in the demo. Two important points. Number one, there is a price boundary. Every single quarter, so every 3 months, from now on, we will conduct a valuation of this property conducted by an independent third-party evaluator that will determine the price of the token and hence the price of the property. From there, you will be able to list your token at a plus or minus 15% of the current valuation price. So let's just take an example. Assume we've listed the property initially at 1 million dirham, and the valuation at the time was 1.1 million dirhams. So that's a 10% increase in valuation. And today we've done another evaluation, and that property valuation is at 1.15, let's say, and that's a 15% in capital appreciation. Then you will be able to list the token at par value, which is the current valuation, which is 1.15, or at minus 15 or plus 15% from this particular point. And the reason behind that is two things. Number one, we're still investing and transacting in a regulated environment that needs to be well thought of, and also make sure that the price fluctuation of that asset class also stays relatively well bounded. This is a real estate transaction at the end of the day, and we need to make sure that these transactions are done in the right and proper way. And number two, with also aligning with VARA's regulations to combat money laundering and financial crime, terrorism. This is very important for us to put these price boundaries. Now, it gives the opportunity for someone to list their tokens at a price that is less than what they've actually listed it for, to be able to liquidate if they're in distress or they want to liquidate or capitalize on their capital appreciation, or for someone, if they believe that the valuation is actually higher, to list it at a much higher price. And the second point is about rental income. So the way we're gonna introduce rental income is actually the token holder that owns the token at 12 a.m. on the first day of every month will receive 100% of the monthly income or monthly rent of the previous month. And this is to align as well with all the global capital market type of transactions, such as to how the bond market functions, or private credit, or even the private equity market. They function in the same way. Same thing in the equity market when distributing dividends. Whoever owns this particular equity or this particular token, they will earn their income depending on when they hold it, and that's in our case at 12 a.m. on the first of every single day. So please keep that in mind when you're transacting. Now, I will pass the floor to Esmar, who's going to take us through how we actually list a token and what are the implications or the steps essentially to take into consideration while listing a token. Esmar, over to you.
Thank you, Joseph. I'm going to share my screen on my mobile device, and just make sure to focus on the right screen right now. All right. So for those of you who already have access to our app, I think it's something not new for you. Obviously, there will be multiple entry points to marketplace journey from our app. One being on the property page. So what you're seeing right now is my test app, but I will show you later on how the app you're gonna have tomorrow, 10 a.m. on your phones is gonna look like. So it will be a banner, obviously, on property page over here, from where you can actually navigate to a specific part of your portfolio section, from where you can actually list your tokens. Now I'm going to act as a seller in this live demo, and after I successfully list the token, I will log out and log in as a buyer, and we will purchase the token down the line. Now, I only own this property over here. And as you can see, as a test before, I listed some of the tokens on the marketplace. And for the sake of a demo, I will be back on available to sell section, this specific tab, and tap on the button sell tokens. Now, first screen you're gonna see would be obviously exit overview or basics of current price per token and original price per token. As Joseph mentioned, obviously current price per token would be the one which will be based on third-party valuation. And original price would be the price you actually purchased it way back. Now, don't look at the data. This is again testing data over here, but the appreciation will shown obviously for you, same as your total amount of tokens you can exit and what will be potential earnings if you sell this amount of tokens by current price per token. Now I'm gonna click next, and this is a heads up we talk about. Obviously, if you're frequently trading tokens, we just want to make sure that you know when you can receive dividends based on the property you own. And as Joseph again mentioned in an intro section, if you sold your tokens by end of the month, you will not receive obviously February dividends. But if you sold them on 1st March by 12 a.m., you will receive your February dividends. This is kind of a mandatory step, so we just make sure that you are informed on this. Now we're coming to the sale amount screen, where obviously you need to present the amount of the tokens you want to sell. Now we want to highlight something important over here, which is there will still be a minimum amount of the tokens to sell in equals of 2,000 dirhams. However, there will be obviously an edge case. If you have less than that, you will be able to exit all. So we are still allowing for investors to sell whatever, all the amounts they have, which obviously for the marketplace, it's important because of the liquidity in secondary trading. Now, for the sake of the demo, I will just select as application is suggesting me over here 1,137 tokens. And over here, you will get net amount of the tokens calculated right away. Why net amount? Because if you see below, you will be able to see that gross amount is more than 2,000. But during to our terms and conditions, we are actually taking 1% as exit fees. What we're trying to do, obviously, from product point of view, is to show transparency on every step of it. So if you tap on this icon, you will be able to see the explanation of the fee and how it's being calculated. It's important to know that it's actually for every fee we have in our system. Second important thing here is that if you want to change the price per token, and if you want to offer the discount, and if your property actually appreciated, and you offer your tokens up to the premium amount, you can tap on edit, and it will show over here the recalculated price per token in this case. Now, what we can do here, we can offer, for example, discounted amount, which again, obviously, if you're discounting the amount of the tokens, number of tokens will adjust automatically in this case as well. But for the sake of the demo, I will just send it on par on market value. And again, you can actually sell it as well, according to premium pricing. Plus minus 15% is the range of how Dubai Land Apartment is also doing valuation. So we're just following that rule down the line. I will proceed from here and I will confirm my listings. But just in case you have some doubts, there are specific terms and conditions for a secondary marketplace, which are actually highlighted over here, and as well as key risks, which are being highlighted as well. So that's important for you to know as an addendum to our terms and conditions. Now I'm going to tap on confirm listing, and this is exactly the moment when we are also listing the tokens on the chain. So it might take up to 30 seconds over here. This is usually a shorter process, but just aligning expectations with all sellers in this case. And as you can see, it was super quick. And now my tokens will be listed on the marketplace. Now, again, one limitation, which is currently happening along multiple parties at this stage, is actually option to edit your listing. It will not be available in initial release, but obviously we're going to work with Dubai Land Apartment and other tech partners to make it happen. But for now, if you want to list with different price, we actually need to tap on view details and delete this listing in order to list the new one. So after we successfully list our token, we would be happy to go back and to showcase listed over here. Now I obviously listen for the same selling price, so it will appear here as a listed amount, and marketplace will actually show increased number of tokens which has been listed for this specific property. Now, what's important again to mention on the market price value, tomorrow if no one is going to list the tokens at 10 a.m., don't be surprised. If you're eligible to sell, you will be able to list those tokens, and at the same time, you will also be able to see the group tokens per property, which will be listed over here. So if Joseph lists his own tokens in another property, different property will appear here, and the number of tokens listed for that specific property. You will also be able to see progress bar, how many tokens are being sold, what's the average price per token, and how many investors actually listed these tokens. Now, I hope this concludes listing process. If you have any questions, please raise them under the Q&A, and my colleague Anna will pick those questions, and we're happy to answer them later. Now,
Esmar, why are you logging as to showcase the buyer side? We are receiving a lot of exciting questions. Again, guys, don't wait until the very last minute. We want to make this session as engaging as possible. So as the team is explaining here, please throw your questions that I'm already picking the ones that we're going to start answering.
Awesome. Yes, we also want to spend more time going through Q&As definitely, and that's something which that's why I will just quickly walk you through a buying process. So bear with me. I will right now log in as a buyer. After I log in, I will be prompted to enter my OTP code. And in a couple of seconds, I will be able to receive my OTP code. Okay, here it is. All right. So we're right now looking at the buyer's profile. I will right away navigate to marketplace section from where I will be able to invest in these properties. So obviously I'm not able to buy my own tokens. That's why in process of listing, I couldn't see this invest now button. But just I want to showcase as well this important aspect over here. For this specific property, we're actually grouping prices by highest discounted first. So you will be able to see minus 50% discounted value on the screen down to the market value, and then highest 15% premium will be shown last over here. So this is a property details page. Among other things, all of our investors know that you can actually be able to see appreciation value of the property, current listing price, market value, price per token. So all pretty much you have so far, including the gallery of the property and all other details on the property. So this didn't change much, except introducing obviously price per token over here. Now I'm going to proceed to invest over here, and I'm going to invest at some point. Let's say I need to invest more, obviously. Let's say 1,000 tokens. It's going to tell me you're not allowed to invest 1,000. You need to actually invest more. So let me invest 2,000. So the amount would be more than 2,000 dirhams. All over here, you will be able to see right away what would be estimated annual rent based on the calculations on the property, and all property we have, I think, appreciated very well. Now, this is a final screen of me buying these tokens. And as you can see over here, there are multiple ways you can do the checkout using different payment methods. Over here, you can see that I have some money in my wallet. As well, we're introducing very shortly paying with bank accounts for all your residents. Apple Pay is coming soon as well. And also this is option which is available right now using debit or credit cards. I want to show you debit card. It will direct me definitely to our credit card to different screen right now where I will need to confirm my 3DS. However, over here you can see all PRYPCO mint fees in the breakdown section. Now it's important to say that buyers are paying entry fees of 2%. If you tap here, it's actually mandatory to include VAT as well. So it's 2% what you can see on this screen. DLD fees are 2%. However, there are some additions of the fees which we're going to cover in first couple of days moving forward. It's also important to mention. There is 10 dirhams knowledge fee and 10 dirhams innovation fee. PRYPCO will cover these fees at the moment on behalf of all investors, but this might change in the future. There will be tokenization fees, which is 0.1% or capped at 850 dirham, and processing fee if you're paying with credit cards. Now I'm gonna click on pay, and I will be redirected to a 3D secure page. Obviously, this is a test environment, so it's just a simulation, but we will do it for the sake of this demo. And upon successful payment, you will be able to see last step of the process. Luckily, we have multiple payment methods. And for me, my internet doesn't work today, guys. Let's see. Okay, emulation is here. I will click submit. All right, we have successfully purchased tokens. And important to mention on this specific screen is that payment is or was successful. But important thing is that tokens will still not come automatically to your wallet. Now we will come to that, and there is a reason behind it from a technical point of view. At this stage, we are actually sending instructions to the buy-lend department to tokenize these assets. And at the same time, they need to register this trade on Dubai REST app and issue a certificate of ownership. At the same time, using blockchain as a technology, it takes some time actually for the transaction to settle. So if you tap on View Wallet, you will actually be able to see that investment which I just purchased is there. However, certificate of ownership is actually going to be ready within half an hour or 60 minutes. So again, usually sometimes it's earlier, but this is right now a pilot stage. So it's important to mention that it might come even in later stage. Now I want to stop here, and I actually want to show you how exact app of one of the investors looks like, which is important to highlight here, having in mind that we have actually issued ARVA tokens, and we actually have issued certificate of ownership. Now, this is how it looks like of investor after transaction has been settled successfully. And I will just quickly tap on certificate of ownership, which should be updated on a regular basis, which shows over here number of tokens I have purchased, and as well as property I own. Again, you saw this before, all investors who purchased something. So it's want to highlight as well that this number will reflect based on tokens you're selling or buying within the same property. Now you will probably also see some ARVA token ID, but that's what we were working hard in the past couple of months. This is again something which we were working as part of innovation together with Vara. Important is that this actually represents a virtual asset representing economic rights or ancillary rights in the property itself. And this is the proof that this token, which ending with M, meaning management token, is actually on the chain itself. So if I click here, it will direct me to the exact chain, prove that this transaction has been tokenized and that I own this management token as well, apart from title deed token. Now I'm going to back to the app where our journey ends. I hope that the buying and selling process was easy. And I hope you will trade tomorrow and see how platform will work in real time. Anna, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Esmer, for showing how it's going to work. And I already have to thank everybody in advance. We are receiving lots and lots of questions here. We're going to do our best to reply to all of them. Let's start here with the most asked question ever. Maybe this one for you, Joseph. Is it currently available internationally? Is it available for Dubai non-residents? And we have at least 5 questions about the same topic here.
Yeah, thanks for that question, Anna. So currently, the framework is still designed for UAE residents only. However, rest assured, this is something that is extremely top of mind, not only for us, but for all the stakeholders that are involved in this project. And we're hopefully going to be working very soon on making it available for international investors.
Amazing. Esmer, one here for you. Do we still need to do the Dubai REST app registration, even if we already use UAE Pass?
Yes, again, that's how you will register on the DLD systems and how you will receive as well a certificate of ownership on Dubai REST app. Now, usually, what's the usage of UAE Pass with the Dubai REST app? Most of the investors are actually signing up or signing in on Dubai REST app using UAE Pass. That's recommended way for all investors to come there. So even, despite that, UAE Pass has been used just a way to sign in on Dubai REST app. And definitely it is needed in this case. Word to mention that we also have plans to integrate UAE Pass on our product, on our mobile app. It's already there live on mint.prypco.com for the sellers. So if you want to sell your property on Mint platform, or if you want your property to be tokenized, which I think was one of the questions as well, you can actually go there, submit your property using UAE Pass, and if we're fine to list, why not?
Amazing. So going forward, are you going to have regular listings of new properties also, or only the marketplace? Joe?
Yeah, thanks for this, Anna. And again, since we're working very closely with the land department and VARA to make sure the entire framework is built in a robust way, we're taking these step in phases. Phase number 1 is to launch the primary market. Phase number 2 is the current marketplace. And hopefully in phase number 3, we can combine both of them and introduce also a new feature to the pilot project. But for the current stage, it's only these 10 properties that are available to trade on. But trust me, we're working very closely with the land department to make sure that new properties are available very, very soon.
So exciting. Esmer, another one for you. Is the minimum limit to sell also set at 2,000 dirhams?
Yeah, that's true. As mentioned during the demo, if you have less than 2,000 and you sold all before, so we will still allow you to exit. So you will not end up on the platform with, let's say, one token, which is worth, I don't know, 5 dirhams. So this cannot happen. So technically, yes. And it needs to be 2,000 as a minimum amount. Same as it was coming to for the primary buying. And in this case as well, we are charging 1% after tokens are being sold. That also one of the questions, I think, which obviously is important for our sellers to know when it's happening, right?
Yeah, on the same note, if one person lists 1,000 tokens and another one 2,000 tokens, can I buy 3,000 in one go from 2 different sellers?
Yes, that's important to mention. You can buy as many you want if you don't exceed 20% of the ownership in the property. So this limit is still there. So in one go during the checkout, you can buy as many tokens you want according to, again, the limits which are currently on the platform.
Amazing. We have a lot of questions asking about how to list properties on the marketplace. Joseph, are we going to allow new properties to be listed?
No, so as mentioned in the previous question, it's currently these 10 properties that are currently listed, and then hopefully very, very soon we will be able to list new properties.
Another one that I think, Joseph, you're the best person to answer, is 100% of the rental income after expenses or just net income?
So is the question related to the dividend that they will receive on the so yeah, in that particular case, it's the net income. So after all expenses and fees are deducted. So this is inclusive of the service charges, any maintenance, the management fees of PRYPCO, or any type of expense that typically is part of a real estate transaction from a cash flow perspective during a rental period is deducted, and the net amount is dispersed to the clients, and they should expect anywhere anything in the north of 5.5 to 6% in terms of net yield on a yearly basis.
Still about the dividends. If I sell the tokens on February 21st, will I get the dividends of the month of Jan?
Of the month of Jan. So the month of Jan, if you received, so you will receive the dividend of the month of Jan on the 1st of February. So which means that if you sold your tokens on the 21st of February, you will not be able to receive the February rental, but January you would have already gotten it on the 1st of Feb, if you are obviously the holder on that particular month.
We have another one about dividends here. What happens if I do not take the dividend, and how to keep rolling it? I'm not sure if
Yeah, so the dividend is sent to your PRYPCO wallet automatically on the 1st of every month, and you can use that dividend to either withdraw it back to your bank account or to use it as part of your investment in the marketplace or any future property down the line.
Cool. Esmar, what is the relation between the ARVA tokens and the XRP? Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting one, definitely. So we use XRP or Ripple Ledger to save all transactions on the chain. So ARVA tokens will sit on XRP Ledger. It might be complicated to our investors, but that's just the proof that they own the digital asset, which is ARVA token. And that proof is actually saved on the chain for the sake of transparency, and they can reflect anytime, as I showed during the demo, that this ARVA token is going to sit there. So pretty much it is, there is a relation that ARVA sits on XRP chain, if it's clear enough.
Yeah, and we have a few questions here asking about how safe and about the security of the platform in general. Can you give more light to how safe it is?
Sure. Yeah, obviously, the platform itself uses the highest security standards, which are happening as of today. So there is a part of, I read the question, someone hacking the platform versus going bust like FTX and the likes of that. So we are not a speculative platform or crypto trading platform. We are a highly regulated platform by VARA. And obviously, in a partnership with them, we did all the best and latest security, let's say, rules and patches we are following for this, starting from sign up or onboarding, starting with the let's say cloud improvements and service availability of the platform, and making sure that things when it comes to security definitely are not breached. So for us, security is of the utmost priority, and we follow the industry best practices when it comes to that.
Joseph, how often are we going to update the valuations of properties?
Yeah, so we'll update the valuation of the property on the first week of every single quarter. So right now we've updated it for this particular launch right now, and you should expect the new valuation coming in on the first week of April. And then it will keep rolling out. So 1st of July and then 1st of October and so on.
Amazing. There's a question here about how many developers we work with other than Damak. I think this is a very interesting question to answer here live.
Yeah, thanks for that question. So as a platform, we strive to be the most diverse or the diverse platform in the industry, which means that we need to provide to our customers all types of available investments, not in particular with a specific developer or specific region or even type of property. So at the current stage, we have on the platform more than 8 developers, as well as 6 different regions and 2 different types of properties, like an apartment, and we have a villa. And even in terms of apartments, we have studios, 1-bedroom, and even 2-bedroom apartments. So we try to diversify as much as possible, not only from a developer perspective, but across every single aspect, to essentially not put all your eggs in one basket and provide you with the best investment strategies and opportunities.
Amazing. Someone asking if the selling window will be open all day. This one I can answer myself. Yes, guys, starting from tomorrow, 10 a.m., it will be open 24/7. So that's the beauty about the real estate tokenized. Is the 1% fee charged upon listing or only after the tokens are executed and sold?
Good question. So for both buyers and sellers, the monetary transaction happens at the time when it's performed. However, the settlement of this transaction only takes place when the tokens are then transferred to the new ownership, reflected on the Dubai Land Department's REST application, and also confirmed by the blockchain. Which means that if at any point in time there is a break in this chain, or something didn't go the right way, or there is a rejection on any of the third parties, then the money will then come back to the customer's wallet, inclusive of all the fees and the charges.
Okay, checking here, there are a lot of questions about the plus minus 15% that they can play with for the sale of the tokens. Can you guys explain again the whole dynamics? If you have to have multiples of 5, or if you can actually go anywhere in between, how does it work?
Yeah, I'm happy to take it. It will work with steps of 5, 10, 15%, because token is absolute number. It's not a fractional number. What's going to happen is that, as explained during the buying process, you can actually buy or sell a plus minus 15%, depends on what sellers will list. Again, reason being its valuation, which happens within DLD brackets as well, of plus minus 15%. That's something we follow, which is also tied in regulations. We don't want to allow the Dubai marketplace to be speculated like this. You can actually sell on market price. And as mentioned, again, you can list the tokens even up to the premium amount if a property you're owning appreciated in the meantime. So it's very simple during the listing process and buying process to select these ranges of plus minus 15%. It's just, as mentioned, steps of 5, 10, 15. And they will be shown grouped on the property level and ordered by the highest discount first up to the, let's say, the plus 15%, which is the most expensive listing at that stage.
I can also see here a lot of questions about the fees for the marketplace. So apart from the 1% minting fee, is there any DLD fee on top of the token sales? And also if there's any charge for XRP transfer?
I can take that. So from a seller perspective, there only paying the exit fee, which is 1%, plus VAT, of course. Everything is mentioned and very clear and transparent on the platform. From a buyer's perspective, similar to any real estate transaction, they'll and similar to the primary market as well, they'll be paying the entry fee of PRYPCO plus VAT, of course, the DLD fee, which is still at 2%, not 4%. This is important to mention. There will be a tokenization fee as well. So this is for the movement of the ARVA and for the change of ownership, and that's 0.85%. 0.1%. And that's capped at 850 dirhams, obviously. And finally, if you use a debit card or a credit card, then you can that you will be charged a transaction fee. Now, if you transfer your money to your wallets, which is a bank transfer, there won't be any transaction fees that you pay. So highly advised for you to utilize the wallet as a method of payment. There's also something that Esmar mentioned as part of the fees, which is the innovation and knowledge fee, 10 dirhams each, that is collected by the land department. And this is very important to note that these transactions that you are doing, these are legal ownership transactions that are recorded in the Dubai government. And in any transaction that is done linked to any government transactions, these two fees are included in those transactions. So it's not specific to PRYPCO Mint. It is what the market is, what the government fees are currently, and we have to abide by them. Now, we are covering these costs for the time being for the launch, but please bear in mind that this might change down the line.
If I may add, I'm seeing as well the question that please list all expenses at the time of purchase. They are already there. I have shown you during the demo as well. And next to every fee itself, you actually have an icon explaining what this fee is, how it's been calculated, and why that number is the number which is there.
Yeah, two more for you here, Esmar. Now that we have the marketplace going live, are we still keeping the cooling period, or people will be able to sell just after buying the tokens?
That's a great question.
And also, if there's the maximum amount of tokens per unit that can be purchased.
That's a great question. Obviously, cooling period is only kept for primary investments, which will still remain 3 months. For the marketplace, whether you're not an investor as of now or you have some of the tokens, you're free to trade or buy and sell right away. So that's the beauty. Again, we're really bullish on this access to liquidity and 24/7 access. So that's literally true. There is no lock-in in this case. You can proceed and buy these tokens anytime you want. And as again mentioned, how many tokens you can buy or sell. It's that you can sell all the tokens you have. You can pretty much liquidate all of them. When it comes to the buying, there is still a rule which is in place. You cannot own more than 20% in the same property. So again, that's regulation rule we need to oblige to. And that's something which is in place. So if you invested in one of the properties, you're buying more, this rule will be in place for you not to buy more than 20%. Again, there will be amount of tokens obviously in place, but I always encourage investors to look into the number they're investing and what is ROI after this number. So app itself works pretty well when calculates tokens itself. So don't bother with that. Leave this to us.
Cool. We have also what is the difference between a regular title deed and the token title deed? If we can show an example of how it works. I think you've shown one, Esmar. Maybe you could put it on the screen again.
Yes. Happy to do it.
In the meantime, while Esma is sharing, maybe I can shed light again on these two tokens. So in the primary market, when we opened it, we've listed the title deed token. So that's on the screen that you're seeing. This is the token, the first token ID that you're seeing. And that represents the ownership. That represents you having a legal right to that property and shown by the certificate of ownership that Esmar is showing. Just below that, if you can go, Esmar, to back to the other page. Yes, just below that, you're going to see ARVA token ID. So that represents the management token that represents the economic rights of owning that property, such as the rental yield or the capital appreciation, and any type of future economic right that can be linked to this property will be part of this ARVA token. Now, important to mention that these two move together and not separately. So you cannot sell your ARVA token and keep your title deed token and vice versa. That it doesn't work this way. They are linked. They cannot move independently, and obviously they were regulated. The first one by DLD and the second one by VARA. Esmar, if you want to shed light on something.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think you cover everything, and I mentioned it during my demo, so I think that's about it.
Cool. And what is the benefit of the ARVA token? So we were communicating about this new rule book, and that's the whole reason why it took us some time to get to where we are. So can you explain how it protects the investors, Joseph?
Yes. Also, so the ARVA token essentially means an asset referenced virtual asset, which means it is linked to an asset, an RWA that we are tokenizing, and it represents the economic right of that particular asset class, as mentioned again, such as the rental yield or the capital appreciation. And it is linked to the title deed token, and it cannot be moved independently.
Are we planning to have plots, commercial properties as well as part of the primary marketplace?
You want to take this up, Joseph?
Could you repeat the question? Sorry, please.
If we're also going to have plots and commercial properties.
Would love that at any point in time. I mean, again, we're in a space of RWA tokenization, and RWA stands for real world asset, which is technically these plots and commercial properties. In the current stage of the pilot, we've focused on the ready residential because it is a proven model that and easy for us to kind of implement and improve the structure and fundamentals of it. But rest assured, these two types of asset classes are in the pipeline, and hopefully we the entire stakeholders in this pilot will be able to share more information about them.
Some questions around how do we prioritize the seller during the marketplace? So how do we order the priority? And what prevents that a single person buys more than 20% of a single property as per the FAQ? So about security as well.
Yeah, so the listing process from seller's point of view goes into the queue. It's pretty much first come, first serve basis. So that's kind of technicalities we are putting in place, just making sure that it's kind of fair for the sellers who are listing first. As mentioned again, definitely their sellers can only again list. They can list how many tokens they want, but buyers on the other side will only be able to purchase up to 20% of the property ownership. So again, that's a regulation and something we need to follow, and that's what investors can see as well at this stage on the primary property as well. So I hope it answers the question.
Is there any validity for the listing? So once it's listed, if there's no buyers for that specific, for how long will it be active?
Yes. I can take this up as well. So you can list your tokens, and pretty much if no one is buying your tokens, there will be a renewal period. So we can renew them automatically. So they will pretty much be there until you delete the listing as a seller or someone buys your token. Now, I saw as well in questions like what will happen if someone buys just the fraction of those tokens. If you list 10, someone can buy 5, so listing will remain the same for these 5. you can decide whether to continue selling these 5 or delete the rest of those 5, and they will be reverted back to your ownership percentage. So everything is dynamic. Platform definitely supports flexibility, and as mentioned, for us, North Star in this case is liquidity on secondary, an option for investors to exit and sell as much as they can.
Joseph, multiple questions about the difference between mint and blocks. Multiple questions.
Yeah, thanks for that question, Anna. I think it's important also to clarify. So PRYPCO Blocks is a crowdfunding platform that is regulated by the DFSA, and it's also the first platform which we launched here at PRYPCO in terms of crowdfunding and fraction ownership. It has an SPV model, which means that every single property that we source and when we fund is owned by the SPV, and you are a shareholder of that property. Still generates yield for you, still generates capital appreciation. It's a platform that has proved its use, and more than 100,000 people are actually utilizing this platform, have downloaded the application and using PRYPCO Blocks. We'll have a lot of properties that are currently listed over there. So if someone that is an international investor and cannot invest on PRYPCO Mint, I advise to look at PRYPCO Blocks. It's a one way for you to access Dubai's real estate in a fraction of it. Now, PRYPCO Mint, I would describe it as the evolution of this particular model. It's eliminating some of the middle administrative work that needs to be done, and makes the process faster and much smoother. Again, PRYPCO Mint is in the process of getting developed. It's still in the pilot phase of VARA, and we're working obviously very closely with the land department, making this a much more robust framework to everyone. But PRYPCO Blocks is currently there and proven its worth and its use. And I highly recommend also people looking at this platform.
Amazing, guys. The time is almost up, but let me try to get 2 or 3 more before we wrap up. Some questions here about the possible volatility of the market. I think it's important to clarify some comparisons between what we're doing in the crypto market, and what if the market goes down. Can you explain the difference of what we're doing here and the crypto market, Joseph?
Yeah, I mean, there is no correlation whatsoever between the crypto market and this particular platform. We are 100% linked and move forward with how the Dubai real estate market performs. The tokens are a representation, or are technically representing a property that is a physical asset that you can literally see outside of your window, which means that this property, whenever it gets valuated from an independent valuator, it would determine the price of this property, and that's how it fluctuates. If the real estate market in Dubai goes up, so does the tokens, and if it goes down, so does the tokens. And that's the only factor that will decide on the movement of these tokens, and that's the valuation of the real estate markets here in the country.
Awesome. Are the valuations done by a third party that is not commercially tied to PRYPCO? Very interesting question.
Yes,
important
yes,
to clarify.
Yes, of course. Commercial. So the property valuations are conducted by an independent valuator that has no tie with PRYPCO whatsoever. They are registered in Dubai Land Department and regulated by RERA. They will need to upload these valuations on the Dubai Rest app. They have their own version of that application, and these valuation reports are regulated and audited as well by the land department. So it's important to mention that point, which means that at any point in time, PRYPCO has no control whatsoever on the valuation. It's actually conducted by these independent companies.
Awesome. Choosing one last question here. And again, guys, we have almost 100 questions here that are unanswered. So we're going to send an FAQ to you after this session. You guys are going to receive the recording of this session, and it's also going to be available on YouTube for if you want to go back to everything that has been clarified before. Let's hope that we can answer all the questions afterwards, because we are definitely not going to be able to cover everything here. But people asking, why do we keep referring to PRYPCO Mint as a pilot? What is this pilot? Pilot phase, second phase? Like, can you just enlighten this for us, Joe?
Yes, so essentially a pilot is a framework that is regulated by a particular regulator. So in this case is VARA, and that will allow a company to test out new ideas in a regulated space. And the reason we're calling this as a pilot is because no one else in the world has done this before. And we need to make sure that every step of the way is done in the right manner for, and most importantly, client money protection. So make sure that your hard-earned income, that when you're putting it towards an investment platform and towards an asset, is conducted in the right way, that is regulated and well secure, and obviously build it in a way that is scalable enough for other people or other companies to participate as well in it. And hence the reason it's being called a pilot. And yes, we're still technically in it. Phase one of the pilot was an extreme success, and we're really looking forward for what's going to happen tomorrow. And we believe that it's going to also be an amazing success.
Amazing. So time is up. I just wanted to appreciate everybody who joined the session, all the engagement, all the questions. We are going to do our best to reply, as I mentioned before. Joseph and Esmer, do you want to say some final remarks before we end?
Yeah, from my end, I want to thank all investors who joined today. We're honestly looking forward for this. This is a game changer for all of us, and we're honestly happy that we are together being part of the historic initiative running here. So.
Exactly, echoing Esmar's last comments. You guys are early adopters in this new technology. You're part of the future, and it's actually thanks to you that we're able to scream out of the roofs that this is a success. So it's all thanks to you, and we really hope that tomorrow you're gonna enjoy the product and share it with your friends. Scan the QR code. If anyone hasn't downloaded the app, make sure that you're registered as well on the BuyRest application. Please get in touch with us via email, give us a call, or social media if you have any questions. And yeah, spread this with as many people as possible. All together, we're reshaping how real estate is getting transformed. Thank you.
Amazing. So proud. Thanks, everybody.